Alrighty, guys, welcome back. It's your boy EQ. And up next, we have What's the Dirt, claiming he knows information that Kendrick Lamar is not who he says he is. Going on to say he's not neutral and calling Kendrick Lamar out for being fake, amongst a bunch of other erroneous things. And Dirt, who does Kendrick Lamar claim to be? He himself says that he's not perfect, and honestly, no one is. I've actually got some of Kendrick's lyrics where he says verbatim to not look at him like a savior in his Savior record featuring Baby Keem and Sam D. He goes on to say, Kendrick made you think about it, but he is not your savior. Cole made you feel empowered, but he is not your savior. Future said, get a money counter, but he is not your savior. Ron made you give his flowers, but he is not your savior. He is not your savior. He's not perfect, never claimed he was, and Dirt has been saying he's had information like this for quite some time now. But where is the dirt, Mr. Dirt? And just like Kendrick Lamar said, I don't believe no man should be deified, and that's exactly what they constantly do, by basically speaking as if Drake was their god and holding Kendrick Lamar to this egregious standard. Your man's lost and it's okay, fam. And for Dirt to say that he's not neutral, egregiously hilarious because we know Dirt. And every time I say Dirt, I automatically think of Joe Dirt. So a very fitting reference, guys. But since the backlash he's received, he's been anything other than neutral. Other than maybe an instance or two where even the blind could see the picture, anytime he speaks on anything Kendrick Lamar, since then, he speaks with such vitriol and such a resentful tone. So Dirt, you did not have to broadcast that you're not neutral, because we already knew. So enough dilly-dallying, let's jump right into this video where we have Dirt claiming he knows information that Kendrick Lamar is not who he says he is, going on to say that he's not neutral and also calling Kendrick Lamar fake, amongst a bunch of other erroneous things. And I cannot wait to debunk Dirt's industry knowledge. He's like the Chat GPT version of genius.
Exactly. Like, come on now. Let's see. Let's go around. Dirt, you got your hand up. What's good, Dirt?
Yo, you really held it down in there, man. I had to dip. I had to get a bite to eat, so I didn't catch the ending. Do you say Punch was in there?
Yeah, Punch or one of them, Top Dog or Punch, came in
Of course, because we're all left flabbergasted with some of these narratives that you try to spin.
and they was trying to bring them up, and then that's when I asked them about their case, and then they didn't bring them up.
They won't bring it up because it's true. They won't bring it up because it actually happened. And the industry knows about this. Why do you think none of them have ever talked about it? Has Punch ever talked about it once or any of these guys? No.
Does that necessarily mean something is true if you don't speak about it, or do you not want to give it any credence because it might potentially not be true?
Nope.
No,
It's
it
gonna
won't.
get
It
messy.
won't.
It's gonna get messy.
They say fuck
They
Drake.
know.
That's all
Common
they say.
sense
Fuck Drake.
ain't common.
They know.
And that's funny. He's saying that Kendrick fans are saying fuck Drake, when honestly, these Drake stands are probably the biggest offenders when it comes to saying stuff like that. At the end of the day, this is probably the leader of the owls, at least on this platform, Club Paradise. And honestly, there has been a lot of trouble in Paradise lately. This dude even blocked me because I called out one of his bullshit narratives. And honestly, I did it really respectfully and I used my words. Unlike them, who are honestly just going to throw out slurs and just crash out when you ask them for any fact, any one fact. But when we provide a multitude of facts, they just go radio silent and block you in shame.
First question I would ask them too, bro. If I ever had a convo with them or even Glasses Malone, because he knows about it too. They all know about it.
That's why I think it was perfect. That's why I don't go into the op spaces. Like, if they was hosting, I wouldn't have went in there because I know they would have muted me. I've been in Glasses shit before. He won't let me talk.
And a big reason these people may not let you talk is because you don't come with facts.
It makes too much sense. Danny was the perfect medium where he's a Drake fan, but he likes the mess, so he gonna let me get my shit off. So I was like, yep, this one.
Danny's perfect. He's really good at spaces for sure.
Yo,
No, you
can
really
I
held
say
it down in
something
there,
real
man.
quick?
I had your back quite a few times too, but I kind of just was quiet for the most part.
No, like I said, you did what you had to do. I started this face off by saying how
It's a legion of semen demons.
tried to set you up. Because, like I said, you're a YouTuber. You've looked at both sides. You're more in the middle. I don't agree with everything you say. We done had the conversations and shit like that.
He's been far from the middle for a very long time. In the beginning, he was. And most people actually heavily respected the dude's work and the dude's breakdowns. But after all that backlash, like I said, all you hear is this vitriol and this resentful tone anytime he speaks about anything Kendrick Lamar. So you cannot say you have been neutral when you have been crashing out on him as well.
But it's more like they was like, oh, What's the Dirt is the biggest Drake fan, so we're going to ask him. I'm like, no, that ain't fair. The nigga literally is on, he's more neutral. So how the fuck you on?
I'm not as
I mean, because now you
Again, another wrong fact coming from the person that he was actually trying to speak on.
know the truth. I'm saying just from a world perspective.
I learned a lot of things in the last year about how fake Kendrick is and how he's nothing what he claims to be. And it really changes the. He's very.
I want to know what Joe Dirt thinks that Kendrick Lamar claims to be, because I haven't really heard anything other than, yeah, I'm not perfect and I'm just trying to do the best I can. The dude has been pretty transparent through his music, which is how he speaks to people. You don't see him out here on lives and these type of spaces crashing out left and right. If you do hear from Kendrick Lamar, it's more than likely on a record or he's accepting an award. So I truly want to know what Mr. Joe Dirt thinks that Kendrick Lamar claims to be.
Fake. For him to take a
Yes.
battle that he was going against the industry when he signed the deal 3 days prior and he waited, like he was Mr. Hip.
It's called the music business. Again, this guy doesn't understand the music business. If you know you're going to drop these records that are going to have these monster streams, guess what? I want to get paid for it. I can love the culture and also want to get the bag for it if I'm able to keep my integrity while doing so.
He should have put that disc record out. But
That's a
he didn't
fool,
do
fam.
that. He didn't do that. He waited for him to do.
He was intelligent, which is also the reason why your goat got dog walked.
And to me, that's anything but hip hop, really. And he's an industry darling, is what it is.
It's the opposite. Hip hop would not want to have a rap battle on DSPs because we know Drake's a hit maker.
Didn't Drake upload all that to DSPs?
So you wouldn't even play that game unless you know you had ace in the hole.
And what you were talking about was true.
Guy's
with
idiot. Again, none of these people have any industry knowledge whatsoever. It's just stuff they read on Twitter. I've been signed for going on 5 years now, and I say that a lot to let people know that I know my fair share of the inner workings of the music industry. This Jay guy really knows nothing. What's the dirt? All he can do is Wikipedia some lyrics and do breakdowns, and he's really good at it. But him speaking on the industry, man, it's definitely not for him.
If the lawsuit affects hip hop, people can just put their diss tracks
Of course
out
it
on
did.
YouTube. They don't need to go through DSPs. They don't need to give the labels profit. They can just put their shit out.
This guy is an idiot. At the end of the day, when you do sign, guess what? These labels aren't just going to let you do that. They're going to be knocking on your door being like, give us our song back. Mr. Joe Dirt does not know how the industry works, guys. And honestly, only a buffoon would move the way that these guys are recommending they move. And honestly, that's probably why Drake is where he's at, because he's listening to people like this.
There's lots of ways of putting your shit out, so there's no reason for battles to go away.
This is the first battle that's ever been held on DSPs.
It's also one of the biggest battles since DSPs and streaming were a thing. Guess where you can find most of the Jay-Z diss tracks? On DSPs. Where can you find some of those 50 diss tracks? On DSPs. These guys are idiots. At the end of the day, we're in the business of making money with our music. We can have a love and passion for the art form and still appreciate the fact that we can make money off of it. And guess what? You put it on YouTube, you're still getting paid for it. And because you're getting paid for it, the labels are going to make sure that they get their cut as well.
If that's the case, Drake will put all his battles on DSP and he will win every battle.
Numbers don't equate to quality or greatness. And even with that being said, Kendrick Lamar was watching him during the beef. The only reason these people now are bringing up numbers is because they're referencing songs that came out a year ago. GNX is a year old, guys, and Luther is still dominating the rap charts.
And they forced him to put it on DSP to claim it.
They could do it on YouTube too.
It's just crazy now how they just trying to flip this narrative and
y'all know, like,
did his thing with them because they really didn't know what to say up there. Jeremy got the trolling and shit like that, but you supposed to be one of the guys.
Jeremy is pretty objective as well.
Get on these podcasts and these shows with the facts and being quote unquote objective, but you start going little slick comments and shit because they knowing Drake ain't talk no bullshit in these diss tracks, bro.
Again, if he knew any of this stuff was real, why wouldn't have he come out with his evidence to prove to the world that, yeah, what I said is true? And at the end of the day, guys, that's not how rap battles have worked since the beginning of rap beefs. I feel like these buffoons study the same course that Drake studied on rap battles. While saying real shit is cool, at the end of the day, these diss records are full of hyperbolic statements and stuff like that. If we were to believe half the stuff that Ice Cube said in No Vaseline Man, we would probably be suing him as well for some of the stuff he was saying.
Oh yeah, a bunch of lies, and yeah, we're gonna go up there and just know that. Yeah, you might have some gun bars and certain things like that when you knowing like somebody don't have a fucking bazooka and shit like that.
Isn't that Drake basically claiming he's a mob boss?
Everybody know that's bullshit, but when people are coming with certain things that come with the papers, like you said, and just
personal attacks.
They want to muddy. Like I said, their best trick is to gaslight and move the goalposts.
That is crazy. It's literally like they're watching my videos and just framing it as if they're saying it. And this group of stans is probably the most toxic I have ever seen. You can speak to them respectfully and use facts in your debate. They just turn around and call you the hard ER, or they throw the maggot out, just substitute the M for an F. So these guys are anything but objective. This is just them in their echo chamber trying to cope with what's going on.
So when I brung up the Drake and then how bad the pedophilia is,
again, you could be a fan of somebody, but these are stans, and these are probably the worst.
the first thing they said, well, but did you hear the Jay-Z battle? Put a condom in your baby shit? Said, did he fuck that kid? And then they was just confused. They were,
They didn't know what.
That's not what they asked.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah, that was good. I was like, oh no, Jay killed him, nah. Cause like you had to say it like that, bro. You had to say it just real like that because people got to really hear that, bro. Like that's sick, bro.
It was also verified that that never happened either.
Like I understand DV is not nothing to play with either, but we've seen so many cases, and even in our own families, bro. Like people stay together with that shit, and people kind of they get over that. They can grow from that.
Yeah. And you also have groomers and abusers that keep a chokehold over their victim for their entire lives.
But the PDF shit, come on, bro.
Sad.
Like even them just hesitating when you ask, like, is that the same? And have to make that reference is crazy, bro. You should automatically like, oh hell no.
Yeah, they were trying to figure out a way around it. It was so nasty. I was like, bro, I can send y'all 100 videos on fucking Twitter right now of a dude beating his girl up. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not going for it, but it's accepted to a
No, it's not accepted at all.
certain extent. You might not like it. You might say, oh no, I don't, but it is a thing that's accepted. If I show you some child porn, me and you going to jail.
This guy's disgusting.
So what the fuck are we talking about?
Because Jay, the fact is, like you said, I think you said before as well, they've desensitized the word now. People have never said pedophile more in their fucking life than last year. So now it's just...
There's literally shows about catching PDFs, but these guys don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, it's despicable. But the judge that dismissed that case also said that, guess what? Most people aren't going to go out and think that you're a PDF because Kendrick Lamar said it on a record. Kendrick didn't create any of those narratives. They have been around for over a decade. You literally have footage of Drake on stage with a 17-year-old when he was, like 24, acting really inappropriate with her, even going on to kiss her and talking about her anatomy in a really inappropriate way, guys. So this echo chamber is definitely an empty void.
Damn, it's like they can forget what it actually means. It's like,
we know.
So it's like we say, we're taking the power back. If they were the dark criminal people who wanted to desensitize the world to that, they've done it. Because now everybody said this fucking word. So now when you actually say he's fucking a kid, oh, wait, that's what it is. Oh, yeah, fuck, that's fucking crazy. Rather than pedophile, which sounds like PDF. It's a fucking Adobe file now.
But when we have conversations,
it's a safe way of saying it without getting demonetized on these platforms.
The problem is people don't stay on their ass about everything when they say it. So niggas will say, Drake a PDF. And then you will say, well, do you really think Drake's a PDF? I don't really think he is. He's just weird. Can you agree with that? It's weird what he did. And like, no, now you just skipped over the main point and what we were talking about to try to make me agree with.
It's funny because What's the Dirt is really quiet, but even he himself was saying some of those girls in those parties looked very, very young, that they couldn't possibly be of age.
You on a dumbass point that ain't got nothing to do with what the fuck we talking about. So it don't matter no more. But they'll muddy that.
They're fighting the same fight you are. Again, there's stands on both sides, guys. I tend to be more objective because guess what? I want to keep my integrity.
And then people will be like, oh, man, I don't
like you got to call a spade a spade.
And then like, see, gotcha. Drake is weird, so he's a pet. Like, nah, all right, cool. No, that's why I don't.
Y'all gotta think though. They're making it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think I forget who was saying just now, but normalizing the word is one of the most insidious things ever from this whole.
It shouldn't be normalized. I agree there.
Corporate brands were making jokes out of it. That they were putting it on the biggest platforms, and low key, it is because. On the other side, that is what they are actually doing.
I think that these people are just totally unaware of some of the things that Drake has allegedly done throughout the course of his career. There's a reason why no one came out to defend him, other than, like I said before, people that are in desperate need for that feature, which, guys, it's not stimulating anything, not even these new records that he's been dropping. Drake has done some vile things that have already been confirmed. It was already verified that he slept with Lil Wayne's girl while he was in prison. Obviously in a power play, because when you have these people with these huge chip on their shoulders, they use that type of power to hold things over you. So it's not a coincidence that people didn't defend this dude.
Okay, so when it comes out that stuff that they're doing, oh, well, that's just weird. And well, Drake, he had some of those accusations and he didn't go to jail, whatever. Like that's
R. Kelly didn't go to jail for a very long time either. There was a lot of jokes. People made skits. People laughed about it. And guess where he's at now? Locked up.
Like the worst part about
Not to say that's what's going to happen to Drake, but the argument they're using is totally erroneous.
this whole thing, the fact that I wanted you, Jay, I did want you to say to them, like, how are y'all such hip hop lovers but are completely okay with the face of hip hop, the biggest artist in hip hop, being slandered in this way and the way that this will have like
Is it slander when some of these allegations are proving to be true?
messed up effect on everybody else? Because at the end of the day, Kendrick at number one, nobody eats.
You can't really say that when he has put so many people on. And also, when you look at Drake's, let's just say, history since 2018, the songs he's dropped, none of those songs have stayed number one for longer than a week, would indicate the exact opposite of what this woman is saying. Obviously, people were not eating as much as they once were before. And guess who was the number one person out at the time? Drake. These people are speaking as if Drake disappeared. He is still dropping music, but guess what? It's not hitting. A lot of it is, honestly, due to the same reason why those records probably didn't last longer than a week. The fact that they all sound kind of uninspired and they've been sounding the same. The dude basically has like 3 song templates. So you can't be surprised when now those mid songs aren't sticking at all.
Seeing what happened with hip hop right now. Nobody eats with Kendrick at number one. Okay? Like, he doesn't help.
I don't know, Clips dropped a project, they're touring, and they're also contenders for Rap Album of the Year. I can't really say that. Playboi Carti also has another major record, and he's killing it on tour.
No, I hear the kid battles depression. Like, well, he cannot put out the music in the same way. We see the features flopping.
And how can you argue that when the Drake features aren't doing anything? Do you guys remember the Smiley record? Yeah, no one else does either. And I've said this so many times, but these people ignore it. Any industry that hinges on one product or one person, one thing, is doomed to fail because guess what? Everything has its run. If the rest of the field isn't picking up the slack, then guess what? You're already doomed. So the fact that they're hinging the whole industry on one person, 2 people, man, it's totally egregious.
Jeremy, what are you gonna do? DJ Head, what are you gonna do in a year from now? Because you can't eat off of Kendrick, and that's really what I want to understand. Is there a long game?
Yes, you can. Obviously, this is a echo chamber of buffoonery, guys. I'm pretty sure none of us are surprised the fact that they don't use facts, but then they'll go and claim that the other side doesn't use facts when it couldn't be further from the case. I've called out tons of these narratives. Most of the time, they just block. And if they do engage, they literally disengage after the first fact is thrown because they expect these people to be just as oblivious as them. And guess what, guys? That's not going to be the case. We're a pretty well-read bunch, you know what I mean? These people will run away from any type of real debate, but they'll go and engage with the crash outs and generalize the whole fan base as being crash outs when that couldn't be further from the case. Again, I'm articulate. I use my words. They may not like that, but guess what? That's who I am. I definitely was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Guess what? It was a little ghetto most of the time. But that doesn't mean you have to box yourself in. Guess what, guys? We are well-rounded people. I still appreciate my roots so much because it made me the person that I am today. It gave me the moral and convictions that I have today to navigate the world. Because honestly, there's a lot of lost flocks in this world, as we're seeing right here. Instead of being rational and using your words, and again, like I said, using a deep vernacular, these person will just go and call you soft for using your words. They'll throw the F word and stuff like that, which couldn't be further from the truth because I'm definitely really blessed in that category. But fam, I bench press 400 pounds. I stay with that thing on me legally. I am not ashamed to have an ever expanding vocabulary, guys, because at the end of the day, if you stop growing, if you stop learning, you might as well just die. But definitely let me know what you guys think about all this. What do you guys think about What's the Dirt's claim? Honestly, you've been saying this for a very long time, Mr. Joe Dirt. It's about time you put up or shut up. The fact that you say that this information is everywhere and nothing has surfaced yet, it's pretty hard to keep everyone quiet for this long. A lot of these people keep claiming that there's footage out there, that there's some type of evidence to confirm this. And if there is, guess what? We will hold anyone accountable for what they did. But at the end of the day, if there's nothing there, you just got to stop this witch hunt because it just makes you look insane. But definitely let me know what you think. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, guys. It does the channel wonders, and I really want to thank you guys so much for continuing to make this channel a part of your day. It honestly means the world to me, and all the love and support that you guys continue showing this channel on a daily is honestly overwhelming and probably the biggest reason why I make these videos. So I definitely want to let you guys know how grateful I am for all of it. I do want to send out a big shout out to all those that have been joining YouTube memberships. Small way to support the channel, but definitely goes a very long way in helping out. And also a very big super thank you to all those that have been sending super thanks because guys, it has been tremendous. If you guys do want to continue the conversation, because it definitely will continue, definitely follow me on X. That link will be pinned in the comments and also the description. So I'm definitely looking forward to your takes on this. Hope you guys love this video, and I hope to see you guys soon. This is absolutely the Legion of the Semen Demons, the home of the Drizzy Glizzy Gobblers.